We just played Kingdoms Forlorn, Dragon, Devils, and Kings. A game about, I presume, at one point dragons, devils, and kings, but so far we only played one session. It was about 4 hours, but it's a really good game. And if you played Aeon Trespass Odyssey, you would find a lot of things in common, though it's much more easier and more streamlined. So let's see what we have here. Each player has their own little character board. You have your character, your hero, who has all these things like passion and virtue and heat, right? And everything here like connects to each other. Like every time you attack, you get one passion, and then at the end of the round, based on what how much passion do you have, you gain all these bonuses, right? Virtue is basically your health, right? And depending on where the virtue is, whenever you get damaged, you're also going to draw these kind of like how you call them, mortis cards, which are minor and grave and whatever, and they can kill you or do sometimes benefits, right? And this also tells you how much heat you have. Heat is really good because you can use it to play these cards. This is the cost, right? And you can also use it to reroll certain dices when you do evasions, attacks, and tests, right? So these are the gears, and gears gives you all kinds of text. And sometimes these can be very, very confusing because there's a lot of keywords, and there's like I think 5 pages worth of keywords. But this is pretty straightforward. You roll with two dices. One needs to be white and the other black, and you need to roll the threshold of the monster's value. Like for example, we were fighting the Ignite here, and the Ignite was you have to roll a 6+ to hit it, right? So after you hit it, and this, for example, +1 gives you one more opportunity. So if I rolled 5 and 2, these both turn into 6 and 3 because of that. And after you hit it, you have to calculate, you do an attack roll, and now you do need a power roll to see if you manage to wound the monster, right? So you then draw this card, which is basically this: you attack his giant sabaton, you attack the feet, and it tells you it has a power threshold of 4. So you basically build your dices. You gain for every hit you did. Let's say we did one hit, we get one dice. You get one extra dice from the weapon, and then your hero gets one extra dice here, and so on and so forth. And then you basically roll these, and you have to roll swords, right? And if you roll enough swords, I rolled 4, I wound this monster, and then it goes into the wound stack, and if it has 8 wounds, it dies, right? But the game has this really, really cool thing, which basically allows you to generate these tokens. So like, as I told you, these kind of like heroic arcs generate these all kinds of tokens, and these are, for example, opening tokens and break tokens. And opening tokens work like the one I told you, that whenever you try to hit the monster, it gives you +1 or more. The break token, for example, allows when you roll these power dices, one of these broken glasses becomes a sword, and so on and so forth. And you have a lot of absolutely magnificent miniatures, right? And you move on this map, and you have to do all kinds of things, of course, and the monsters have all these walls of text of effects which are really unique to each monster. And this is basically a clash that you see here, but there's also the delve phase when you play cards, which are these no spoilers, right? Don't look at it, imagine. And you are on this card, and you move from spaces to spaces, and you have all kinds of very interesting exploration things that you do, and all of these cards have to be resolved as well. And when you don't play a clash, you play encounters, and then monsters have different effects. And again, you see a lot of text here, but once you learn it, it's actually not that complicated. Every single character has their own character book, which is the tail, and again, tons of text, but really cool text. And you can do quests, you can hunt for clues, you can do free roams to gain more armors, and so on and so forth. And also you have this very interesting system when sometimes the cards go into the delayed sort of cooldown, or you discard them, and if they go into delayed of cooldown at the start of your turn, they rotate back into your hand. But I could talk a lot about this game, but I think you get the idea. Look at how messy it is, right? And of course, I printed out tons and tons of helper cards and so on and so forth. But Yeah, this promises to be a huge game, and it's we're going to probably play for hundreds of hours. Highly recommended.